Molly, what's the meaning of this? What's going on here? Molly, where are you? Answer me! Molly! Pick up your phone, Molly! This instant!
What do you want? And could you stop blowing up my phone with notifications already? It's getting annoying.
There you are! It's about time you answered me. Now would you tell me what's going on with the house? I just got home and the front door was locked!
Oh, that? I can explain that. I moved while you were away on your vacation.
You moved? What do you mean you moved?
Oh, you need me to explain that too? It's very simple, Keith. When someone moves, it means they go and live in a different house. I took all my stuff and started living in a new place, so that means I moved. Is there anything else I can help you with?
Are you mocking me right now?
Why would you think that? You asked me a question, so I answered it. Oh, did you not understand that explanation earlier? Should I draw you a picture or something? Would that help you?
You're out of your goddamn mind, Molly! Either you've gone completely insane or you're just pulling some stupid joke on me! Which is it?
It's neither, actually. I'm not out of my mind or insane or joking. I just used my big girl brain to do some serious thinking, came to the obvious conclusion, and acted on it. Now, would you like me to give you some helpful advice on what you should do next? You see, there are these wonderful, magical devices called keys. You have a bunch of them on a loop called a keychain. So take your keychain, find the key that fits into the front door, and open it.
Knock that off, obnoxious woman! Yes, Molly, I already took my magical key and unlocked the door. You actually went and took all your stuff out of the house? What on earth do you think you're doing, Molly? Why are you acting this way?
You mean you really don't know why?
How am I supposed to know? I just got back into town after being away on business for a week, and all of a sudden my wife has moved out? Explain yourself!
You were away on business, were you?
Yes, I was! I already told you that before I left! And what about Tyler? Where is he?
You don't have to worry about him. He's with me, of course. Didn't you look in his room? All his stuff is gone, too.
This is absolutely unreal, Molly! You dragged our son along on this stupid, immature stunt of yours?
It's all right. I told him exactly what's going on. He's not scared, confused, or anything, so there's no problem.
Of course there's a problem! There are nothing but problems here! And you still haven't explained to me why you're doing this, so let's start there! Well, Molly, why are you doing all this?
I don't know. I still have a hard time believing that you don't already know exactly why this is happening.
Well, believe it or not, I'm completely clueless as to what's running through that thick head of yours. All I know is that my idiot wife has gone and done yet another stupid and selfish thing.
I'm sorry, yet another? Just what do you mean by that?
You're always doing or saying some kind of stupid or selfish thing around the house. You mean to tell me you don't even realize that? God, you're so oblivious. I really can't stand you when you're like this.
When have I said or done something stupid or selfish? I don't know. I'm drawing a blank. Can you give me an example?
You want examples, huh? How much time do you have? I could go on all day. How about just last month? I checked my bank transaction history and found out that you took money out of my account without my permission. And I don't think you ever told me what in God's name you did with that money. So what did you do with it? You go on a little shopping spree? Is that how you paid for your new handbag?
Wrong on all counts, I'm afraid. First of all, that bank account is not your account. It is our shared account. And as for my new handbag, I paid for it entirely out of the money I earned at my part-time job. I got a pretty good deal on it, I must say. Also, most importantly, I did tell you what I was withdrawing that money for. I needed it to pay for Tyler's field trip at school.
Oh, is that what you used it for? Well, if that's really the case, then you should have told me beforehand.
Hello? Earth to Keith. Earth to Keith. Do you read me? I did tell you beforehand. You just either weren't listening or forgot.
Whatever. All right, so maybe you were right about that one. But I still got way more I can talk about. How about that time a few months back when my mom was talking to you about Tyler's education? She was giving you all sorts of valuable advice, but you just completely blew her off and did what you wanted to do. She was trying to be helpful and you were disrespectful to her.
Wait, are you talking about the private tutor thing?
That's exactly what I'm talking about. My mom gave you a whole number of great ideas that would be super beneficial for Tyler's future, but you didn't take any of them. Do you know how much it hurt her to be ignored like that?
Okay, let's get a few things straight. I did not ignore her. She gave her advice and I took it into consideration. However, Tyler is our son, and this is his future that we're talking about. It's not your mother's place to be making decisions on ours or Tyler's behalf. And for the record, your mom's suggestions were to hire an expensive private tutor and have Tyler take piano lessons. The problem? Tyler doesn't want to play the piano. He's more into sports. He wanted to join the soccer team, so I allowed him to. That's all. Tyler's old enough to make these sorts of decisions for himself, and we all need to respect that.
Oh, you mean it was Tyler's decision to play soccer? All right, I guess you have a point there, too.
And yet again, I told you that Tyler wanted to join the soccer team months ago. So do you have any other examples of all these stupid and selfish things I say and do? The only examples you've given me so far have been times when you just don't listen to what I told you.
I've got plenty more. About a week before I left on my business trip, I came home early, and what did I find? You were making Tyler do all of your housework while you just laid down on the sofa. How do you explain that, huh?
You're talking about 2 Fridays ago, aren't you? I started feeling kind of sick in the afternoon that day, and after I had finished getting dinner ready, Tyler came up to me and said that he'd take care of cleaning up and that I could go ahead and rest. Isn't he a kind boy? He's always so thoughtful like that.
Wait, Tyler volunteered to do all those chores? Okay, that's fine then.
Now that I think about it, Tyler used my phone to call you and ask you to pick up some medicine on your way home from work. He tried calling you, but you didn't pick up, so he tried calling your office instead.
He called my office?
Yeah, and it was the weirdest thing. When the secretary answered, he asked to speak to you, but she said you had taken the day off. I've been meaning to ask you about that ever since, actually.
Nuh-uh, Molly, not happening. I am not gonna let you change the subject. We're talking about your behavior right now.
Wow, that was a nice dodge. I don't really see a problem with my behavior, though.
You're joking, right? What are you doing right now as we speak? You took our son and moved out of the house while I was gone. I'm still waiting for you to justify that. Well, Molly, got anything to say for yourself? You'd better have a good reason for this.
You really want me to say it? All right, suit yourself. Tell me, Keith, where did you go all last week?
This again? I already told you. My company sent me to New Orleans on business.
That's interesting. When I called your office, they said you had taken the entire week off as paid leave.
What? Okay, that's a straight-up lie. I don't believe you for 1 second. I mean, what reason could you possibly have to call my office? You could have just asked me.
Yeah, about that. Coincidentally, my brother was also in New Orleans last week on business. He had finished up his work and was out on the town when he saw something that really surprised him. It was so surprising that he had a hard time believing it was real, so he took a picture of it and sent it to me. He took it from pretty far away, so the quality isn't great, but I could tell right away. It was a picture of you, walking hand in hand with another woman.
What? No, that's impossible!
You look like you were having a pretty good time for someone who was supposed to be hard at work. But I can see that you must not need me and Tyler around anymore. Why would you want to be tied down by your boring wife and son when you could have week-long vacations with your fun, exciting mistress?
Molly, wait, I can explain!
From the way you were smiling in that picture, I'll bet you want to divorce me and go hook up with her as soon as possible. And I'm feeling generous, Keith, so I'll give you exactly what you want. But unfortunately, I am going to have to ask you to pay alimony and child support for Tyler.
Molly, wait, listen to me!
I am all ears, Keith. Do you have anything to say for yourself?
Let's say for a moment that I really was cheating on you.
That's an easy thing to say because you really were cheating on me. Let's drop the facade and have an open discussion like adults, okay?
Would you calm down for a second and let me speak? Think about it, Molly. For starters, okay, I'm sorry that I lied to you and said I was working when I was really just taking a week-long vacation alone. But just because I'm holding hands with another woman does not mean I'm cheating on you.
What else could it mean?
Well, there's all sorts of things it could mean. It could have been an old friend from school, or a sibling, or a cousin. There are a million possibilities. You can't just see a picture of me with a woman and immediately assume I'm cheating.
Keith, you don't have any sisters. And think about it from my position. I already know that my husband was lying about being at work to take a vacation. Really, that alone is more than enough to make me suspicious that you're having an affair. Even before your supposed business trip to New Orleans, I already knew that you were lying about going to work and taking time off. So when I saw that picture of you, it clicked. You must have been meeting up with her on that day, too.
You have an incredibly active imagination, Molly. You should become a creative writer. But you're letting your imagination run away with you. I simply forgot to tell you that I was taking the day off that day, that's all.
Uh-huh. Then why did you say earlier that you finished work early that day?
Oh, that? I don't know. I must have gotten my days mixed up.
Right. I think at this point I should tell you that my brother took one more picture.
He did?
Yep, and this one's gonna be a bit harder to explain. The two of you were making out.
We were?
So let's see if I can make that picture fit in with your excuses just now. You, a married father, lied to me, your wife, and said you were traveling on business. When there, you just so happened to bump into an old female friend, sibling, or cousin, and then you went on to make out with that friend, a long-lost sibling or cousin. Well, which is it? Were you making out with your friend, sister, or cousin?
She isn't a family member for what it's worth.
Obviously, it doesn't really matter whether you and her went on vacation together or if you just happened to meet up while you were there. You're a cheater either way, and I can't allow a cheater like you to have a negative influence on Tyler. And there's your answer, Keith. That's why I moved.
But it's still not okay for you to just up and move without telling me anything. We're a married couple and we have a son. This is something that we should talk about together. I mean, think of the effect this is going to have on Tyler.
I don't want to hear any lectures on marriage and parenting from a cheater. And you don't need to worry about Tyler. I already explained everything that he needs to know. He'll be fine.
You need to be more specific than that. What did you say to Tyler about me? How exactly did you explain the situation?
Yeah, about that. How exactly would you break that sort of news to a boy Tyler's age? I mean, he's in the 6th grade and all. He's old enough to understand some things, but not old enough to understand others. It's not like I can just go to him and say, "Hey, Tyler, your dad's banging another woman."
Okay, then what did you say?
That's just the thing. Back when my brother first sent me the picture of you and that woman making out, Tyler was standing next to me. He looked over and saw it.
Uh-oh.
Yeah, uh-oh is right. But I was surprised by his response. While I sat there panicking, wondering what to say, he just said, "Oh, so Dad is cheating on you."
You mean he had already caught on?
The day I got sick, he tried calling you, but you didn't answer. Then he tried to text you, but you still didn't respond. He thought something was strange. There's no way you would be so indifferent to your wife's condition, right? He assumed that the messages must not have gotten to you, so he decided to check your phone to see if they got sent properly. And that's when he saw some suspicious messages coming from another woman. I've got to hand it to him. He played you like a fiddle. After you got home, he asked you if he could see your phone so he could play the game you downloaded to it for him a while back. So you just handed it right over without thinking twice.
No way! That nosy little punk!
Looks to me like you're all out of excuses, Keith. You did your best to try and find some way to pin our marriage breakdown on me, but you failed miserably. You'll be hearing from my lawyer regarding the details of our divorce soon. Don't ignore his calls like you ignored Tyler's calls. It won't end well for you. The more you try and fight it, the more money I'm going to take from you for alimony and child support. A few days later, my lawyer called up Keith and set up a time for us to have a friendly discussion about our divorce. But when Keith walked into the room, who do you suppose walked in with him? None other than the woman who hates me more than anyone else in the world, my mother-in-law. She started tearing into me, criticizing me for everything I ever did, and even more things I never did. Eventually, I got sick of it and said that if Keith was going to be difficult about this, then we can settle things in court. His mother said, "That's just fine by me. It's your fault that Keith cheated on you in the first place. If you want to take us to court and just lose everything, then have it your way." Keith, however, immediately folded and agreed to enter into mediation. Tyler and I moved in with my parents, and we're doing just fine. I also found a company that understands my situation and is very flexible with my schedule, so I'm able to spend a lot of time with Tyler. So from here on out, I just want to keep working my hardest to be the best mom I can be for him.
Thank you for watching. Please subscribe and hit the like button. See you next time.